Hello there, my name's Jeremy Biggs. I work for Subversive Comics and I write the comic Bearlands, Zombie Bears and Metal Made Flesh. I've always been into comics, I've always loved reading them. Around about 3 years ago, I was working for a company that were producing audio dramas because my background is kind of film sound. And I'd always wanted to do a comic, so I thought, right, I'm going to do it. I've written for years, I'm going to make the effort to find an artist and I'm going to sit down and try and create something. And we did a short 8-page story for Bearlands, which is the very, very first thing I'd ever released commercially, and people kind of loved it. They walk past and they'd do a double take and go, zombie bears, oh, zombie bears, So Bearlands is really kind of a homage to, it's a homage to things like Mad Max, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, that kind of thing. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie story, but told through the medium of cute bears. So it's kind of a funny look at zombies because we've got the cute characters. We can kind of go off in different directions that you wouldn't find in a normal zombie story. Underneath it all, there's a kind of evolving story about, because they're bears, all bears are kind of addicted to honey. It's like their crack, but they're the way that honey, because there are no more bees or anything anymore, the world is like a wasteland. So this thing has become very, very precious, and wars are kind of erupting over this honey, If I had to say it's anything like anything, it's a bit like The Walking Dead meets the Care Bears. Very, very first convention as well, I also met the artist for Metal Made Flesh, this guy called Simeon Aston. Simeon Aston was this incredible artist, very, very shy, very, very softly spoken. He kind of came up and showed me his portfolio, and I took a look at it and I thought, this is incredible. For about 5 years he'd been drawing this entire cyberpunk world, which is just hits all my kind of science fiction buttons, And I said to him, who are you working for? The DC, Marvel, what's your background? But he hadn't done anything at all, never got himself out there. And I said, I've just got to work with you because this stuff's awesome. So we sat down and collaborated on storylines, tried to come up with flesh out the background of the world, and as a result the Metal Made Flesh happened. We did a Kickstarter last November. It's the first time we've done anything like that. Within 3 days we'd made a funding target. By the end of the Kickstarter we were 500% funded. Pretty much everyone, since we sent out the books, has said how much they love the story and the artwork as well. And the reaction's been great. We've had one of the exec producers from Game of Thrones, a guy called Vince Gerardis, has been on The Blower, sort of talked to us about film rights and things. So it's been very interesting because I didn't believe it at first. So Metal Made Flesh, it's a little bit like Blade Runner meets Game of Thrones. The human race has been chased to the brink of extinction. They're taking refuge on a very, very hostile kind of cyberpunk world where they're treated as the lowest of the low. They've basically got to survive in this environment. They're manipulated by kind of a big bad and various other elements around them. So this really is an introduction to the three characters. You get to kind of meet them, get to know what they're like as people. So you've got kind of like the very, very cool, calm Isabel Weiss, who's a real survivor. You've got Faye on Next, who's kind of a narcissistic, evil, drug-taking mentalist. And you've also got Calabos. Calabos is kind of like our Hulk character, if you like, but a bit more of a kind of deeper Hulk in terms of his own personal journey. I've got a few more ideas for other comics as well. I'm working with a guy called Casper Wingard, who's an incredible artist, on something called Path. It's a bit like if superheroes were part of Baader Meinhof. We've got like a villain who's a bit like Slavoj Žižek, who's a philosopher type. It's a crazy, crazy world which I'm working at the moment.